Hey guys, Rob from the Off-Grid Tiny House. Got the door open so it's a little noisy. We have 60 degrees Fahrenheit inside at 54% humidity. And in Celsius, that's 15.8 Celsius. And I just put batteries in outside, so it's going to take a minute to broadcast the signal to tell you what's going on. But as you can see behind me here, guys, I transplanted the new babies, so I have one every other spot there, and I kind of made it so the baby plants had all their leaves falling out of the bag directed towards the sunlight, and then I watered them and should be good to go. Also brought over some Wish items. I'm going to put batteries in this right now, so let's grab the batteries. These are the 18650 pink ones that I recovered from just a scrap item that I saved, because these batteries are lithium ions and they are expensive if you were to buy them brand new. Whoops, there we go. Make sure the little spring is touching properly on the device there. So obviously I can add up to 4 more, but I need the same kind. You don't mix and match these or trouble will happen. So we'll put the cover on and then we'll see exactly if I have a success here, and we'll plug something into this bad boy. These things crunch in pretty good. Okay, so here's a fan, USB powered. Let's plug it in, and I'll hold the fan up for you to see and make sure we're on. I cannot see. Oh, that sounded weird. Hopefully we don't have issues. No juice. Okay, I'll have to pry this apart and mess with it later. That's the way it goes. Could need charging too, so I may go do that. Though I charge the batteries separately, so they shouldn't have lost anything unless they're crap batteries. Other thing I purchased from Wish, aquaponics season is coming up. Though I got shafted. The money for batteries is no longer there, guys. So YouTube has again drastically cut my wages. Hopefully I'll be able to pay my rent, but other than that, there's not much left over. So if you guys could please consider becoming a Patreon member. It's only $1 a month. You get all my stuff early, ad-free, unedited, uncut. You get to see what's going on. And this device here is a float switch, so it's got two wires, and basically I already checked it for polarity to make sure it worked. So basically when this thing drops to this level, let's say it's sitting in water and it's held up like this, and as the water drains and gets down slowly, this will pop out and shut off the power to the circuit. So this will be in line, wired into my pump that feeds the aquaponics setup. So when the aquaponics setup comes on, the pump's going to activate because the water level will be full, so we'll have a closed circuit, so that's good. And then the pump will start emptying water, and as it slowly does, feeding the plants, eventually it'll drop that much and kill the pump. And until the water level gets up there again to where it should be, then the cycle will repeat, rinse and repeat over and over again. So the only problem is with this one, since I have a glass enclosure aquarium, this is kind of meant to make this is kind of for like a DIYer where you could put this into a bucket. It's because it's got the gasket, it's got the ring, it's got the threads, the whole 9 yards here, right? So I'll have to figure out and see how I'm exactly going to mount that. But what I can do is kind of go like this and mount it inside the aquarium, and then just boom, do something like that. So something rigid on there, like put in between this gasket here, I could put some kind of plastic clamp that's holding this suspended just above the water, and then when the water level drops, it'll kill the pump. Something like that. We'll figure it out as we go. So other things to show you guys. Let's pick up the camera and not zoom in. I have 0 solar power whatsoever. Now what's going on? Look at this. 0. Batteries uncovered down here. I have 0, 0, 0 everything. Even the MPPT charge controller. And look, my solar switches are shut off except for, well, that one's off. That one's off. Yeah, they're both off. What happened was, guys, we took down the solar panels that were right above here, actually right here, off the tiny house. And I still have to come back and remove the framing, but I don't want to do that until I get tube of silicone, because obviously I made holes inside the walls of the tiny house on the outside, so I need silicone in order to fill those gaps once I rip everything down. And then once that's done, we got our flat panels right there, are going to be going up there, and I have the tape I brought over for them, and I also have to get some PL Premium construction adhesive, and those will go up on the back of the panels, and then my special tape, expensive tape, will go on, and they will be permanent to the tiny house. Nice and flat, stealthy. No one will see anything other than a couple wires coming in here. And there you go. That solves a lot of issues. And also, once the flat panels are installed, guys, and I got power again, I will be installing the wind turbine. Here he is. Now, you're wondering where the blades are and everything. They're over on the table. Right there, right on top of there, because you're not supposed to put the blades on until the pole's mounted and this thing's up in the air. Makes sense to me. This guy will be installed on this corner of the tiny house, so behind my IBC totes on the outside. I'm going to go up, and it will be mounted there. I also was thinking about mounting it behind the shower area, just because I can extend the wire, and this way, because the sun rises over here, guys, so it goes up, and once it gets past here, then it doesn't really interfere with shade, because if the turbine's here, obviously it's going to cast a shadow on my solar panels. So if I put the pole there even, it'd be better, because if I put it here, that's where my kind of afternoon sun is, and then I'd be getting shadow all the time from that turbine. So we're putting it over here. I've made a decision right here on camera, explaining it to you guys. So it's going to go here. I'm going to have to extend the wires over to here, but that's the way it is.